Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I'm coming to you from coastal Virginia where I live with my husband Sean and our 3 dogs, Bandit, Copper, and Finley. Today is Saturday, June 4th, and if you are a viewer of my podcast, you know that this is kind of supposed to be my off week. Bonus content. I am a middle school teacher here in coastal Virginia, and yesterday, Friday the 3rd, was my last day with my students. There was a lot of tears. They kept looking at me like, why are you crying? And I'm like, why are you surprised that I'm crying? Like, of course I'm crying. That's what I do. I love my students. I love my job. And I love summer vacation. Firmly believe that teachers can love their job and love their vacation all at the same time. So while this is not the official first Saturday of my summer, because I have 3 teacher work days this week, it's kind of the first Saturday of summer. So bonus content. I am hoping to put out some more videos this summer, some what I'm going to call bonus content for you guys, as we go through the summer and as I have a little bit less on my to-do list than I usually do. And fingers crossed, a lot more knitting time than I do during the school year. So this past Wednesday, I posted my 8th episode of my podcast. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, please go watch it. And I appreciate every like and every comment. And I do respond to each comment. They warm my heart so much. But in that video, in my podcast, I talked about one of my goals for the summer, which was that I wanted to itemize, count, evaluate all of my whips. There's a lot, just so you know. And in my acquisitions, excuse me for reaching, in the acquisitions part of my podcast, I showed this whiteboard, which is living on top of the cabinet that all of my whips are in. Or excuse me, all of my yarn is in. And I counted all of my yarn. You can see that I have updated the sock yarn for the 3 skeins of yarn that I showed in the podcast that have now been added to stash. I did not add. There were technically 4 acquisitions, excuse me, that I discussed on Wednesday, but since one of them immediately went into a project, I didn't count it because that made me feel better about myself. I don't know. Something about this number staying at 30 and not going to 31 just made me feel better about myself. But I talked about how this side of the whiteboard was like, I got a template going, but I don't have the numbers written in. That's what we're going to do today. I am going to go through, again, sorry for reaching. It's sitting behind the camera. I'm going to go through my whips, decide what I'm keeping, decide what I'm frogging. If I do decide to frog something, what am I going to do with that yarn? Is it going back in stash and numbers are being updated on the whiteboard? Or am I going to add it to the pile of yarn that I have decided is going to be donated to our local Goodwill? So, everybody ready? Grab some knitting. Grab your favorite beverage. For me today, it's just water because it is the middle of the afternoon. So I'm done with my coffee. I'm not really a wine drinker, so I've got my water. Let's start the Dog Mom Knits Whips Parade. The first thing I did was gather up all of my whips. And I laid them out on the couch and I tried to organize them as best as I can remember. So some of this is going to be a surprise. This tote bag is full of smaller project bags, and this is all of my sock whips. I have tried to keep all of those organized and together so that I know where they are, and I know that those are all socks. These projects, pretty sure that's a sweater. I know that's a shawl. The rest of these, your guess, well, this one is a hat. These 4, I have no idea what these are. Not the first clue. But we're going to find out today. And then I do have one blanket I probably will not show this one just because it's pretty large. I love this project. I love this yarn. Maybe I will talk about it later, but what I don't love are the needles. So one of the things that I know I need to do is get new needles for that project, so I will actually knit it. So, blanket, miscellaneous, I don't even know, most of them, socks. I think we'll start with the socks first because that's what I knit the most. So I grabbed my sock whips off the couch, came back to this side of the room, emptied out the tote bag. So all of the projects are at my feet. This is the bag that they are being housed in. I love this bag so much. We got this in maybe 2003, no, 2005, something like that. We went on a mission trip to Nicaragua, and this was one of the things that I purchased. I have used this bag for school stuff. I have used it for home stuff. I've traveled with it. It is denim, has this beautiful purple flower on it. I love this bag so much. So this, because I love my sock whip so much, that's why I chose this bag to house my sock whips. I do not have a link. I wouldn't even know how to suggest you go and grab one of these bags if you wanted one, or even if they're being sold still. But for all of the other projects, well, my Ravelry project page will be linked down below. And if I know the yarn dyer and the pattern, I will link it below. But I'm pretty good about my Ravelry project page being updated. So, hopefully everything will be in the down bar, but if it's not, please send me an email and I'll get you the information if I have it. So this is my sock whip bag. It is empty. So let's just start. I'm just going to reach down. Sorry, I'm going to reach out of camera. I'm going to reach down, I'm going to grab something and I'm going to pull it up and then I'm going to discuss it. So this is the first one. I'll try to link below the person who I got this from, but I've had this project bag for years. And in it is a sock that I'm working on from a Gables art sock blank. Really far. I forgot how far I was on this one. The reason I don't want to knit this one is because I am currently knitting it on Knitter's Pride Zings. Put that up for you. US 1. I usually knit my socks on US 1.5s. For some reason, I decided to knit this one on US 1s. Oh, amazing. I kept the business card for the bag. So the bag was made by Jenny of Lone Larch Designs. And again, if she is still making bags, I will link her below. But it's been like 5 years maybe since I bought this bag. I loved the sock blank. I did not love the fabric of the yarn. So I would not keep these for myself. My mom liked the fabric, so I could knit them for her. But I think on a US 1, they're going to be too small for her, too small of a circumference. So I think I'm going to need to frog these. This. Should say I'm acting like I have a second one in here. This is what the cake of yarn looks like. It's all crinkly because, again, it was a sock blank and I could not figure out how to knit off the sock blank. So I caked it up. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, ugh, really? I've gotten this far and I'm going to frog it? Really? But I think yes. I think I'm going to frog it. And to lock in my decision, because I know myself, I will go back and like put them all back in the whips pile after I record because I'll talk myself into keeping them. So if I decide to frog them, I'm actually going to take them off the needles. So working the needle through, which is a pain. The join on these Knitter's Pride and I are not friends. Okay, no needles. I cannot pick up stitches but once they're live, so this one's getting frogged. Okay, so I have a notebook. I have my typical podcasting notebook. And I made myself 3 columns. It was what I started with, like how many I started with, what I'm frogging, and what I'm keeping. So I'm going to put my Gables Art Socks under frogged, which I guess I didn't need this started because it's just going to be frogged, or excuse me, kept or frogged. But added that to the frogged column. It's in pen. Not erasable pen. All the ways I'm tricking myself into making a decision and keeping that decision. Hopefully. Okay. I'm going again. I'm going to grab something else. Okay, so this is a bag from Mountain State Stitches. If you watched my last 2 podcast episodes, you know what's in this bag. It is my Sweet and Sour Socks. This is a yarnable colorway from August of 2021. These are my UFOs, my unfinished object project for the month of June. So I don't even have to think about it. These are staying. Staying on the needles. I'm keeping them. I'm going to knit them. Okay. Next. I love opening these because I honestly have no clue what's in some of these bags. I just know they're sock whips. So this is a bag from my amazing husband, who is the guy who sews. He knows his wife very well and knows her need to keep coffee in her life. And okay, so what's in here is do I have the label of the yarn somewhere in here? Yes, I have one of them. So what's in here is a project that I am knitting concurrently with my best friend Jenny, but she's finished hers. So note to self, Amanda, come on, get it together. But we were in Pittsburgh last summer, and when we went into one of the yarn stores, we saw Emma's Yarn. They had a selection of Emma's Yarn, and neither of us had ever heard of, let me try to get it where you'll actually see her name. Neither of us had ever heard of Emma's Yarn before, but we both fell in love with 2 different colorways. The purple that you're going to see is called Mermaid Tavern. That's the one that I picked. My best friend picked Jenny. She picked a pink. I don't have the tag for that. She has it. So I'm not sure what the yarn color is. It might be linked in my project page. And they are all tangled because it has been a hot minute since I am so sorry, you guys. It has been a hot minute since I have even touched this project. So the fact that it's not more messed up, it's surprising to me. Just tuck this little end in. So this was my colorway. This is Mermaid Tavern. It's purple with like some really pretty blues, speckles. This is the colorway my best friend picked. Goodness. Yarn everywhere. Oh, hers is really everywhere. Okay, I'll just do the best I can. It's pink with some light pink spots and white spots. And we're both using the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern for, or I don't know if it's a pattern so much as it's like a technique for knitting with Share a Pair sock sets from Mandy's Making. So 2 50-gram balls of yarn. She stripes them together every 2. Can you see this? It's like so tangled and I can't even get it undone. She stripes it together every 2 rows. And so that's the pattern that I started with and the pattern that my best friend Jenny did also. Once I got going on these, okay, so I fell in love with them, first of all. They're amazing. But I started calling them my Cheshire Cat socks because they are the Cheshire Cat. By accident, but we're both fine with it because we love the Cheshire Cat. So I'm not even done with one of them. Jenny's already finished hers. And what am I doing? Forgetting that I even have them. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So obviously I'm keeping them because I need to finish them. They might be a good summer sock camp. Like 30 minutes of sock knitting every day. Would be a good idea. Okay. Next. So this is another bag from my husband, who is the guy who sews. I have some pins on it from a bunch of different places. I have a Hufflepuff pin because I am a proud little loyal badger. I have my crazy sock lady pin, and then I have this little cute hedgehog with a heart. Yes, heart with a puzzle piece missing, and my best friend has the same hedgehog, or I guess technically it's a different hedgehog, with the missing piece, and she keeps one on her project bag, and I keep them on mine. This is yarn that I got, again, in Pittsburgh, when I was with my best friend last summer. I don't even have a full sock yet, and that's okay. I started knitting these in the fall, and then school got insane, and so I stopped knitting them. And the tag is like way down in there. But again, I will have everything linked below. What am I going to do with these? I mean, I love this yarn. So if I was to frog it, I would just start knitting this exact same pattern again, because I did like a fun design from Julianne Knitter at the cuff. And then this is just a vanilla sock. So yeah, I think these are staying. These are going to stay. I'm going to keep these. I just think maybe I'm not going to knit them until the fall. So when school goes back in session, I will pick those back up again. I might, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what else is down here. Okay, so I actually remember what this one is. These are my Sweetheart socks that I did as a test knit for Knitty Natty. I got one of them completely done during the test knit, which was all I had to do. And then just ran out of brain space. Oh, I do actually have, I was like, oh, I haven't started. No, all I have is cast on. I don't even have it joined to the round yet. Oh my goodness. That happened. Those are definitely staying on the needles. I want those done. I love that pattern. It is so fun to knit. It was fun to knit once I got used to it, because it did take me a while to get the pattern right, because I'm a tight knitter usually, and then you start color work and then it's like, nope, can't do it. Sorry, need a little bit of sip of water. Okay. Again, surprise, because I don't know what's in here. Oh, I know what this is. Again, through Knitty Natty, I took her Perfect Fit sock class in January and February. And I knit one sock out of Yarn Cafe Creations in, I'm pretty sure it was called Boozy Hot with Sale. And so I have one done. I might have started the other one. I did start the other one, and then I needed the needles, and so I took it. But I have one sock done. it's not going to be hard to knit the second one. Oh, sorry. This is another bag from my husband, who is the guy who sews. You noticing a theme? He has a lot of my project bags. He made a lot of my project bags. So this one's staying. I'm going to get that one finished. Add that to the list. Okay, now the other 3 bags that are down here are Christmas bags. So this is a Christmas bag from my husband, the guy who sews. It has my, I think it's Area 51 My Perfect Rainbow. These are a gift that was supposed to be finished for Christmas, and then obviously it wasn't, because this is the first. Yeah, this is the first one. So I am going to, I mean, obviously I'm going to finish those. The person who wanted them picked out the yarn and everything. So obviously I'm going to finish them. So let me add that. And then I've got 2 more that are in Christmas bags. This is another Christmas bag from, wait, it's all tangled. How did you get tangled so that I can figure out how to untangle you? Oh, I tangled it myself to keep it closed. This is another bag from the guy who sews. In here is my 2021. There it is. I was like, there's no way I'm going to remember it. 2021 Cozy Knitter Advent Socks that I started. I could not keep up in December. I got this far and stopped. And so these I am keeping, but they're going to go with my other Christmas stuff. My plans for December, these are not going to be knit right now. They are going to be put aside for December. And then my final sock whip is in this bag, which again, from the guy who sews. And it is the 2021 Self-Striping Advent from Mint Rain. And again, we are just going to start this over. Just going to start this over in December and actually knit my Advent socks in the month of December. I'll just be a year behind. So, I'm frogging 1 and I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with my Desert Vista Dye Works socks that are on the needles that I did not bring over here. That makes 7 current sock whips. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to go add that to my whiteboard, grab my other project bags, and figure out what else I have. Okay, so I switched out my socks, my sock whips for my scarves, shawls, and the one sweater that I have on the needles because I'm afraid to finish it because I'm afraid of sweaters. That's, you know, that's me. Full disclosure, most of these products I told you guys earlier, I don't know what they are. I also know for a fact that most, and by most I mean like 90% of these projects, I have not touched since at least last summer. Some of them, it would have been 2 years, 3 years, 4 in some cases. Wow. Intense, like to realize. So let's just dive right in, shall we? So this project is living in a project bag by my husband. Again, the guy who sews. This is a Hufflepuff bag. I love this bag. And I'm looking in it, and it is a shawl. Excuse me, it's a cowl that I started for Sean that 100% I am frogging. And I'm not even going to take it out because it is a literal hot mess. But I knew I was frogging that one. I thought I had already frogged it. And apparently I hadn't. So that one's being frogged. For sure. Okay, next. I bet you can't guess who made this one. This is the guy who sews again. Sorry, I almost dropped it. Okay, let's see what's in here. Oh my gosh. You guys. You guys. So this is a shawl that I test knit forever ago, years ago. And the only thing I have to do is add fringe. That's it. It has been sitting in this project bag for years. Years. Because all I have to do is add fringe. I've even cut the fringe. I don't know. I don't even have words for myself. Obviously, I'm keeping it because it's basically done. Goodness gracious. I'm rolling my eyes at myself, you guys. Okay. Project bag from, can you guess? The guy who sews. This is one of the first project bags he ever made me. I love this bag. Let's see what's in here, shall we? This is back when I used printed patterns. Oh, that's right. This is the Hope Shawlette. I have this much done. I didn't realize how much of it I had done. But it's getting frogged. I for sure will be frogging this one. Because it's beautiful and I love it. But there's a picture of it. Sorry, it's in black and white. There's a picture. I don't love wearing shawlettes. Initially, the idea was to knit this for my mom. She will also not wear a shawlette. And this yarn, which I don't even know what it is just so beautiful that it needs to be something that will actually be worn. So, Hope Shawlette, frogged, or will be frogged. What's next? Okay. How about a bag that isn't the guy who sews? Who knew? I don't even know who made this one. It's Little Skein in the big wool. And again, if these bag makers are still making bags, I will have them linked below. This is an Anne of Green Gables themed bag. Not sure what's in here. It's like Christmas, opening presents. Oh, my starting point is in here. So I, forever ago, started knitting the starting point shawl when Joji Locatelli was doing this as a 1-month knit along. And I think it's been like 5 years. And I don't have the pattern over here to show you a picture because it's really long. And so it's over there like on a clipboard somewhere. But you knit like 2 panels and I've got all of this done. Oh, wait, I guess it would help if I showed you the right side. So I have all of this done of the first panel. And then I have, hold on, let me untangle myself. Which one's the right side? This is the right side. I have all of this done of the second panel. I think I'm on clue 4 of 5, maybe, but it is a lot of knitting. Like, whew. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking that I thought by any stretch I could get this done in a month. It is laughable to me that I thought I could do it. However, I don't remember what's in some of these other project bags, but this might be my favorite whip. Maybe this summer is the summer that I finally finished my starting point. That would be really amazing, because that thing is going to be big and it's going to be beautiful. And I am so excited to have it done. And again, all the yarns and projects, or excuse me, all the yarns that I'm using for all of these projects are on my Ravelry project page, which will be linked down below. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. This is a Molly Klein design bag, and it's Gilmore Girls themed. Love it. Love Gilmore Girls. What's in here? I don't even know anymore. Oh, it's my Age of Brass and Steam kerchief. Interesting. Forgot I had this. I have this much done. Wait. Right side, wrong side, Amanda. You can do this. You have podcasted before. Yeah. I know what the holdup is for this one. It's the fact that I hate purling. And all of this glorious stockinette requires a heck of a lot of purl stitches. But this yarn is stunning. Look at that. It might be Malabrigo. I think it is Malabrigo. One of my stitch markers just fell off. Does that mean, oh, that's fun. The stitch marker fell off because I took the needles off the project. Oh, Amanda. So I'm guessing by the name kerchief and the fact that I hate purling, that the best thing to do is to frog this project. So we're gonna frog that one. Okay, next. Okay, I remembered I had this one. This is my, let me see if I can find a picture or the name. There we go. So it's called Puck. It is by Boo Knits, I believe. There is her picture. I don't know if that's in, there it goes. It is so amazing. And I was flying through this project. I got probably, I am over halfway done. And then I realized I was knitting it wrong. And it's a paid for pattern, so I won't give too much away, but there was something I was supposed to be doing on every other row that I wasn't doing. It should be significantly bigger than this. Because I was like, why is it so small? Like it says like it's substantial. This is not substantial. Well, now I know why. Amanda learned to read. I mean, I am an English teacher, you know, there's that. So as much as it pains me, and I guess I could actually hold it up and let y'all see it. So these are the colors that I'm using. It's a gray, a pink, and then a gray and pink variegated. So as much as it pains me, I'm going to frog this one, but it's going to get frogged, and this yarn is going to be, it is going to be this project. I just need to knit it. I just need to knit it correctly. So do I mark it as a whip? Like, do I mark that I'm keeping it, or do I mark that I'm frogging it? Keeping it. We'll put it in the keep pile. Okay. Last one for sweaters. Oh no, wait, that's not right. Sweater, shawls, hats. There is this one, which is I already knit one. I'm going to knit the other one. It's my beginner brioche hat. I definitely want to knit another one of these, but it may not be until winter that I get around to it. But definitely, oh, and another bag by the guy who sews. I think this might have been the first project bag he ever made me. This one or the panda one was the first one. So the beginner brioche hat definitely stays. I'm not going to add it because technically it's not cast on. So it's more an idea than a project. Did you catch how I was justifying that to myself? Okay. Last one. So if you've watched my podcast, you know that I have said many times that I am afraid of sweaters. I'm afraid of putting all of that work into something and it not fitting. But last summer, I finally bit the bullet. Bit the bullet? Is that the right phrase? I finally made myself, like, not made myself, but like got over myself and cast on a sweater. And it's called the Summer Tea, maybe. It's a Hoagie Locatelli pattern. I knit the whole, not the whole, obviously, but like I knit the back panel. I knit the part of the front panel. Last summer, this was my 30 minutes of knitting. And I just kind of fizzled out with it again because it's stockinette and all that purling. But I mean, you can see that I only have a couple more inches. I just have to make them the same length. And then I can, and then I think if I remember correctly, it just joins in the round. I don't know. But I put it down because school was starting and I knew I was not going to have the brain space to knit it, but this yarn is really beautiful. The pattern seems like it's going to be really great in this yarn. Like it already seems great. You know, it is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I had to pick up stitches and I mean, you can see the little shoulder ridge. I have some weirdness going on right there because of the way the cast on is on the neck. Totally not her pattern, totally me. I'm hoping that because this is let me see if I have a tag because I've used up one of the things. The yarn is from Elsbeth Lavold, Silky Wool. And so I'm hoping that this it's 45% wool, 35% silk, 20% nylon. So 45 wool, 35 silk, 20 nylon. So I'm hoping it just blocks really beautifully. So maybe my focus this summer will be on my starting point shawl. And then if I get that done, which I mean, if I do 30 minutes of knitting every day on my starting point, I should be able to get it done. And then I can switch to 30 minutes of knitting on my, I think it's called the summer lounging top, something like that. It is also in a bag by the guy who sews. This is his sweater sized bag. So it's perfect for this project. Obviously I'm keeping it because I want it done, but I'm nervous about it. So that means I am keeping 4, 3 shawls and 1 sweater. So that's pretty good. So I am frogging 4 projects, all shawls. I'm not frogging any of, no, I'm sorry. I'm frogging 1 pair of socks and 3 shawls. I'm only going to keep the yarn from my Age of Brass and Steam. The other 3 I'm going to add to the pile to be donated, and hopefully my husband will be able to take those to Goodwill tomorrow so that I cannot decide to change my mind and put them back into my stash. So I will go back to my whiteboard and add 2 skeins of DK weight yarn, because I'm pretty sure that's Malabrigo DK, and that'll be it. So that's all my whips. I am keeping 11 and frogging 4. 12 if you count the blanket. Keeping. And I do have, well, 1 scrappy project already going and 1 scrappy project that I really want to start, but I'm not counting those because, I mean, I don't have any expectation of those being finished. Originally, I was thinking, depending on how this played out, that I would, that I would try to get all of my whips done by the end of the summer. That is not going to happen. But I am still hoping, and I'll do more planning for this during the week and talk about it next week on my podcast, but I am still going into summer sock camp with the goal of not having any sock whips at the end of the summer, with the exception of my fall socks, which I am intentionally going to wait until September to pick back up. And the Christmas ones, which don't count because I'm just restarting those in December to actually knit them correctly. So I'm going to reach again and grab my handy dandy little whiteboard. So I added the 2 skeins of DK weight that are going back into stash. So my stash is now at 82 skeins of yarn. And then I have my whips over here. So I have 8 socks, 3 shawls, 1 blanket, and 1 sweater for a total of 13. Is that right? 8? Well, yeah, 8 socks because I'm counting my current Desert Vista Dyework socks, which I didn't talk about earlier. So that threw me off a little bit, but I'm there. So this is the total. I'm going to call it as of June 1st, even though it's June 4th. Now, hopefully each month I'm going to be able to pare that down some. Sorry. Pare down some of the stash, pare down some of the whips. So, one last thing, bonus content should mean a giveaway, right? So, Knitty Natty is hosting Sock Week, July 10th through July 17th. And my husband knows that I participate in this little make-along of hers every summer. So he bought shark fabric to make me a project bag, but he can get more than one project bag out of sock fabric, or excuse me, out of a fat quarter. So he made you guys one. Is this not the cutest thing? And if you don't participate in Sock Week with Nitty Natty, this is just such a fun summer bag with all the different sharks on it. It is so cute. And then the interior is this beautiful fuchsia. And if you watched my podcast last week, you saw me talking about this yarn. This is Desert Vista Dye Works Great Barrier Reef. This was going to be my June socks. But something happens with Desert Vista Dye Works and me where if there's something that's dark, like this dark blue or a black, when I knit it, it bleeds all over my hands. This does not happen to anyone else that I can find. It only happens to me. I have no clue why, but I know that I cannot buy anything of hers that has a black stripe. And so I saw this yarn and I loved it. And I was like, maybe we'll be okay. I didn't even get through the cuff before you could see how I trail my yarn or tension my yarn through my hand. I am almost positive will not bleed on anyone else. This is just a me thing. But I thought with the fact that I can't knit with this joyfully, and I have more than enough yarn that will bring me joy. So Sock Week is coming, which is a play off of Shark Week. I have an extra shark bag. I have Great Barrier Reef yarn. Let's pair these two up and do a giveaway. So any comment down below will enter you on this video, will enter you to win the bag and the yarn. No special notes, just comment whatever. Comment how many whips do you have? Or if this was interesting to you and you would like to see this kind of bonus content again. Or just what your summer plans are. Doesn't matter. Any comment down below will enter you, and you need to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. That's it. If you would like to, maybe head over to The Guy Who Sews, who is my husband on YouTube, and subscribe to his channel as well. He is a sewer, a sewist. I don't know which suffix you put on the end of that. He sews. So, but that's not required. The only thing required is to subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and I will do my best to get this out to you in time for Sock Week, which is, again, is July 10th. I can't promise anything because shipping is the thing. I will ship internationally for this one because I didn't ship internationally for the last one. So I'll ship internationally. So yeah, any comment down below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks for watching my whips parade, for cheering me on as I went through this. I don't know if I was recording a video, like if I wasn't recording a video, if I would have done this, but it feels really good to have it done. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back in 1 week for podcast episode number 10. Until then, have a great day and happy knitting.